Gaudete, Christus est natus, ex Maria Virgine gaudete.
So there's an initial act that God declares you to be righteous. He makes you righteous by His grace through faith. But then you can grow in holiness. You can grow in righteousness. That's the process. That's the already not yet. So you're already saved, but you're also being saved. And that's what Catholics mean by growth and justification. They don't mean, oh, you have to make up for God's failure. God didn't do enough for you. You gotta make up for it. It's you have to foster this gift that God has put inside of you and grow in this gift as if you're drawing more on the graces of God. It's like a seed that's implanted in you that's growing more and more and more. So that's what justification is in Catholic theology. It's not just an initial event. It's an initial event with ongoing growth and ongoing effects.
So you could say, in a sense, justification is by Sola Fide, but
no.
It's
So
through love.
I think Sola Fide is you can nuance it enough to where you can say you can affirm Sola Fide.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's problematic. Because first and foremost, the only time Sola Fide is mentioned in Scripture is in James 2:24. I'm sure you're aware of it. We're not justified by faith alone, but by works. Okay, So we have to, in our theology, affirm that we aren't by faith alone saved, but works play some role in justifying us. Mm-hmm. So what a Catholic will say is, yes, but the initial act of justification is apart from any works, any good works, any works of the Mosaic law. It's pure grace. It's through faith. You receive it in the sacrament of baptism. It's something that God does to you. But the process of justification, where you grow in justification, also known as sanctification, is by works. It's not by faith alone. And James talks about how if you have faith but you don't have works, your faith is dead. So faith alone isn't sufficient to save you. John 15 talks about if you don't bear any fruit, God the Father will cut you off from the true vine, which is Christ. But by abiding in Him, you will bear fruit. And the way that you abide in Him is by keeping His commandments. So that's just a parabolic way of saying you have to foster the gift that God has given you, bear fruit, be obedient to His commands, and He's not going to cut you off and put you in hell. So I think it's problematic to say sola fide, just because, that language, that sort of language is specifically condemned in Scripture. Mm-hmm. But I think there is a way to nuance it enough to say, works without faith don't save, but also faith without works, if you don't have any works ever, you're not going to be saved. There's a nuanced way to say it, but I would just push back against it and say, guys, let's just formulate our doctrine some other way. Just talk about it in some other way than just saying we're saved by faith alone, we're justified by faith alone, because there's a lot of complications when you add alone to that. So it doesn't allow for as much nuance. And also, again, that's condemned by Scripture, that specific formulation. Whether that's what James meant or not, that's disputed. But again, just saying it like that, saying it the exact way that James puts it and negates it, that's problematic to me. And that's probably why Martin Luther wanted to take James out of the Bible. So,
Epistle of straw.
Yeah, epistle of straw. Let's throw Jimmy in the fire and get it over with. Yeah, no, that's.
Ex Maria Virgine gaudete.